Hey, welcome to another video. So there might be a lot of people that don't know I recently sold my S2000 to get another S2000. So let me show you. So here she is. Kind of overall, first off, kind of funny. This is a AP2 2004 in Berlina Black. My old S2000 was also a 2004 AP2 in Berlina Black. Obviously this car's been extensively modified. To give you a little bit of backstory, this is a car that was previously owned by a friend up in Edmonton. His name's Ross. He built this amazing S2000, used it on track, etc. And I was originally supposed to buy some parts off of him. Kind of came to me with the, telling me, hey, I'm gonna be potentially parting out the car after next season. Would you be interested in anything? Because I was also a Black S2000 owner. So I said, yeah, no, sign me up. I want to take a few of the things off of you. I was interested in the wheels, the front big brake kit, the Voltex kit, and kind of just talking back and forth. The idea of buying the car whole kind of came up, and that was something that I wasn't ever really considering, but here we are. So let me give you some of the rundown, the details on the car itself. So first of all, like I mentioned, this is a 2004 Honda S2000. It had much lower mileage than my old one. My old one had about 150,000 kilometers on it. This one, when I picked it up, it had 76,000, so obviously a lot lower, a lot fresher, and the body itself is way cleaner than my car. But I'm just gonna kind of start off with some of the things in the front. So as you can see, we have CE28 Volks. These are a evasive spec sizing, so they're 17 by 9.5 with a +50 offset front and rear. It's a square setup. The car is currently on Yokohama Niova with 255/40 tires. And one of the nice things about this car, big brake kit. So this has the Alcon Mono 4. They're 4-piston big brakes. They actually have tons of room with the front wheel clearance, so that's pretty nice. And obviously there's a lot of other things done to the car as well, so we'll keep checking those out. So at the front of the car, you see we have this pretty aggressive front bumper. This is the Voltex race bumper, so it's more aggressive than the street one. The street one is kind of, you can get it in carbon fiber or with a fiberglass lower. This one has the full splitter as well and the optional canards. And if we keep on moving forward on the car, so you'll see this hood is an aftermarket ASM dry carbon hood. There is a provision here, doesn't really show too well on camera, but there's a bump here that actually allows clearance for the Mugen cold air intake, which is something that we'll get to. Coming along the side, we have Voltex street carbon fiber side skirts. I do not know for the life of me what side mirrors these are, but they're finished in carbon fiber. They look cool. Functionally, they kind of suck though, but that's okay. I'm kind of debating whether or not I should swap on the factory mirrors, but we'll cross that road when we get there. I have them set up so that it's not too difficult to see, but yeah. And then at the top here, we have a Mugen fiberglass hardtop, so that's a nice little piece there. Coming around the back, so here you can see we have a Voltex, again, kind of a lot of Voltex aero on the body of the car, Voltex carbon fiber rear diffuser, and to finish it off, this is a very pretty unique piece on the car, so I'll just show you guys right now. This is, as you can see, we have a dual exhaust. This is a custom Origin fabrication titanium header back exhaust. So normally you can only get these done in a single exit, but this was done kind of one off in a dual exit, so that's pretty cool, unique touch. Getting again to the back of the car, on the top side now, this is a Asm Gt05 Wing, and it has the higher mounts. Normally these wings, they kind of mounted lower on these risers. You can see here there's a middle section that's actually an extension. So this is a higher mount setup, and this is mounted to a OEM Honda S2000 CR wing. So that's pretty much the main thing on the exterior. I'll show you kind of what's done on the inside now. So now getting into the inside of the car, some of the first things that you're going to notice, you might not see too clearly here, but we have carbon fiber door cards. These are from Evasive Tuning, so EBS, basically from Evasive Motorsports. They have this nice little red pull strap, so pretty race car, that kind of like GT3 RS style look. On the inside, we have this nice Momo Alcantara wheel with the NSXR horn button. And this is mounted to an ASM hub. And then additionally, we have basically the premium floor mats that I had done similarly in my S2000. I feel like those are really a must in these cars. And then these seats, they're Recaro bucket seats. I always forget the name of them. I think they're like the RSGs or something like that. I'll put them in like the little bottom description just to actually tell you what it is. And then we also have a Renegade Motorsports extended shift knob in here. And for the most part, that's pretty much the main thing on the interior. So I'll show you kind of under the hood, see what's done there, and talk a little bit more about stuff that you can't see basically visually from the car itself. So like I mentioned before, this is an ASM dry carbon hood. So underneath the car, upon first glance, it looks relatively stock. We do have kind of hidden away, we have the J's Racing header, and that mates to the custom titanium exhaust that I mentioned before. We do have this ASM upper front strut tower brace, and then some lower braces for the ASM bits. And kind of for stuff that you can't see from the outside of the car that easily, it also has basically almost all of ASM's suspension bracing. So the rear strut tower brace, underbody braces, and then coilover wise, it's sitting on Olin DFE coilovers. And then for sway bars, it's also running the ASM ones front and rear. So kind of as a whole, you can tell that this car was built with essentially three main companies involved. We have a lot of the Voltex aero, and then a lot of the Mugen bits, and then obviously a lot of the ASM bits. So the ASM stuff, we have the wing, suspension bracing, etc. So it's a relatively pretty complete build in my mind. I know a lot of people have asked me, what's done to the car, I guess, performance-wise, and like I mentioned, really, engine-wise, it's pretty much stock. The only modifications for performance, you can zoom in here, you can see kind of some of the burning on the J's header and the exhaust, but that's pretty much it from a performance standpoint. So this car has, I guess, a lot of room for me to continue to improve on it, but really at this point, I don't want more power. I'm still learning and trying to develop myself as a driver. So this car basically was, okay, I can buy a car that's been relatively set up at a pretty high level with lots of high quality modifications, and I can start slowly picking away at things that maybe there's certain things that I wouldn't have necessarily done, or just to continually refine the car. So I think performance-wise, that's going to be staying relatively stock. We do have a couple little things that I'm going to be putting into this engine bay to help maybe, I guess, spruce it up and maybe give a little bit more performance. But the car itself as a whole is going to be staying relatively the same. Like I mentioned, there are certain things that I do want to swap in and out, but you'll kind of see those as I get along into the video. Maybe for the next video, I'll kind of talk about what my future plans are with the car and where I see myself going with this car build. But there's been a lot of hard work, time, and money put into this car already. that I don't necessarily want to, I guess, undo. So I want to keep the car kind of as a whole relatively the same, but put my own touch on it. So I think for those of you that have known me for a while or kind of followed me on the channel, I did sell my Honda Civic Type R limited edition, kind of hinted, hey, there's a new car coming. And to tell you the truth, that new car in my mind was supposed to be an NA1 NSX. Unfortunately, I had deal after deal after deal kind of fall through. I had been looking for one of those cars for a couple years now, kind of seriously. But every single time I tried to line something up and it seemed like it was a surefire deal, something would fall apart. So I kind of parked that dream just with how expensive those cars have been getting. And I had the S2000 in the garage, and I kind of thought, well, what if I just go a little bit crazy and build my ultimate S2000? And then the idea of this car came up, so obviously it was like, okay, I can buy what is in my mind almost my ultimate S2000 and then slowly perfect it from there. So hopefully you guys are excited to see more stuff on this car itself. Obviously that NSX dream, I'm kind of parking it. Maybe if I win the lottery or something, that might happen. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be kind of solely focusing on this car. So really excited to see what I can do with this and what kind of how I improve as a driver and continue to refine the car. It's not gonna be a ton of progress. This car was a relatively big sum to get into. But obviously, you know, all the work and money and time that's gone into this car kind of warrants that price in my mind. So I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty stoked. I've had this car actually in possession for a couple months now. Just been driving it a lot, enjoying it. So yeah, so stay tuned for more future S2000 stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to make a few videos in the wintertime. We do have winter coming up here. It's been a relatively mild October, which has been pretty thankful, but we never know when we're gonna get piled with that next dump of snow. So this car likely will be staying in the garage here, where I'll be working on it hopefully a bit during the winter time. So yeah, so stay tuned for future updates, and thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, and catch you on the next one.